Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold. We read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop, the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Hey, it's Robin, your psychic girlfriend. Today is a big day in the Laura Owens trial. It's a pretrial hearing today, and there's a lot of energy around this moment, and we've all seen the headlines, the lies, the manipulation, and the chaos. But what's actually happening beneath the surface? Well, what emotional forces are at play for Laura today? And we're going to take a little closer look. Now, I'm kind of a astrology freak. I really am basics in it, but I just, put in her chart and try to do it. So I don't know, I have a problem with it sometimes, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening for her based on her chart. Now, I don't have her actual birth time, but Laura was born in San Francisco, and I put it all in anyway. So this is the turning point for her. It's huge. And what energetic forces might be influencing her today, and she might not even realize it. So let's see what happens, right? Take it with a spiritual grain of salt, as I always say. And this is my personal insights, psychic insights, whatever. So use it wisely or accordingly. All right, well, it's accountability time for Laura, and it's a moment of reckoning for her, and she's going to have to face the consequences. Yay. Because you know what? She has really done it to herself, right? She's manipulated, she's lied to keep someone around, and now the truth is coming to light. And that feeling of accountability can be super overwhelming, and it often forces us to confront things that we've been running from. So if you think about it, when we've lied or deceived, there's an emotional discomfort that comes from holding on to those lies. And the longer we hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. And accountability can feel like a burden, but also an opportunity to clear the air and release some of the emotional weight that's been holding back. So today could trigger some deep emotional shifts for Laura. I'm not holding my breath, but this is what the energy says, right? So often when we face big emotional confrontations, like a legal battle, there's a chance for us to transform how we see ourselves and our actions. And for Laura, this could be a turning point where she's either forced to open up emotionally or push the pain down deeper. And either way, there's a lot of inner turmoil happening that could lead to a major emotional breakdown, or it could push her further into defensiveness and manipulation. And so if you're listening, which side do you think is going to happen? Transformation isn't always easy, and it requires us to be honest with ourselves, to confront things we don't want to see. And for Laura, today is a chance to make that choice. Either she faces the truth about what she's done or continues to hide behind the walls she's built. Now, there's this fear of rejection that Laura has, and there's a strong force of that fear for her. And think about how when many of us act out of fear, when we think we're losing someone or something. And for Laura, the idea of losing control over a situation is terrifying. And the truth can feel like emotional rejection because it challenges the story she's been telling herself and others to maintain her sense of security. When someone is emotionally insecure, like Laura likely is, rejection can feel like an emotional collapse. And that fear, without this relationship or story, they have this, somehow I'm not enough. So manipulation becomes a tool to keep control, to avoid facing that rejection. And it's all over her chart. The need to maintain emotional security can drive a person to do things they normally wouldn't do, but she has been doing it for years, just to hold on to someone. All right, so the internal conflict here is the growth versus the consequence, right? And there's a real internal battle Laura will likely be experiencing today. Part of her will want to grow and move forward, while another part of her will want to hold on to old behaviors that have brought her this far. I don't think she's all that self-aware. So, The push-pull energy can feel kind of like being stuck between wanting to change and being pulled back into the same patterns. If her brain is what I think her brain is, she has created quite the neural pathway to the same old patterns, the same way of thinking, so therefore I don't think she's going to break free from this. It could represent for her crossroads. Growth and healing are right in front of her, but she may feel like the tug or the pull of old patterns like fear being abandoned, control issues, and avoiding the truth. This could lead to an emotional confusion or even more impulsive reactions. And the question is, will she choose to break free from old habits, or will she continue down the same path? Comment in the comment section what you think. I'm letting you know what I think. I think she's built so many neural pathways in her brain that she does not see. It takes a lot for someone to shift out of those patterns, a lot. And this is a lot. Would we not agree? Okay, so what can we expect from Laura if she shows up in court? So, the same thing we have always seen. Emotional intensity. And the hearing is not going to be calm, composed situation for her. It's just going to be her feeling very overwhelmed, the pressure of facing the truth, and the potential emotional fallout. And I do feel like her attorneys are going to do their best, but I also feel like, they know. And we might see some moments of impulsiveness where she reacts in ways that may seem out of character. She'll feel, not out of character, but she'll feel that defensiveness. She'll try to shift the narrative. And I don't even know if she'll be speaking, but this is what I feel like is happening for her. And she's probably feeling a lot of emotions. Now, we know court hearings are stressful for everyone, but for someone like Laura, this is highly charged for her. And she's going to feel like the weight of her choices today, and it could trigger an emotional outburst or a series of missteps that she tries to control the situation in ways that backfire. Okay, that energy's high for her. I don't know if her lawyers can control her anyway. This is a key moment for emotional release or resistance. It's a critical moment, and she could either resist the truth and try to manipulate the situation further, or she can let go and start the process of emotional release. If she chooses to hold on to her manipulative behavior, it may only create more legal complications down the road. But if she takes the step towards honesty, she could start the process of healing and moving forward. So what does this mean for Laura? These are my final thoughts. Today's pre-trial is a pivotal moment for Laura. It's a chance for growth and accountability, but it's also a chance for emotional confrontation, and the energies are at play, pushing her to face the consequences of her actions. But the real questions are, will she embrace this opportunity for change? Or will she double down on old patterns and continue to manipulate the situation to avoid dealing with her emotional wounds? Whatever happens today, we can't ignore the spiritual lesson, because this healing requires us to really face our own truths and to acknowledge our mistakes and to be vulnerable enough to change. Laura has a choice today. Will she take it? So let's comment in the comment section what you think will happen today. Even though we may not see her or hear from her, these are the things that are happening for her based on her astrology and what I've been able to glean from it. And I didn't want to overload you with Capricorns here and there and that, because for me, I don't understand it unless it's being told to me like I'm 5. So I'm not pulling any cards for her today. Well, no, I'm not going to pull any cards for her today, but I just wanted to have some simple language around it. And if you've ever struggled with facing the truth or letting go of emotional patterns, just remember change is possible, and healing begins when we confront the uncomfortable truth about ourselves and our actions. And I'm here to help you through the process and give you some spiritual guidance. If you would like and are ready, you can book a one-on-one with me, and link will be there. It's yourpsychicgirlfriend.com. But I enjoy covering this case because it's kind of mind-blowing how someone can get to this point. And I wanted to know what was happening for her in her sky when she was born, because a lot of this shows up in her astrology, whether you believe in astrology or not. So it's kind of fascinating, and especially right now what's happening today energetically. So Mercury is not retrograde any longer, but we are still in a shadow, so communication could be a problem. But we're feeling the lift off. I feel much better energetically, and I hope you do too. And I'll see you in the next one.